How to become the person you admire? I, Tony Robbins. Every one of us carries an image in our mind of a person we admire. It might be a leader we look up to, a parent who inspired us, a mentor who changed our life, or even a version of ourselves that we dream of becoming. That image is powerful. It pulls us forward. It drives our ambitions. But here's the question. What does it take to actually become that person? Not just imagine them, not just follow them, but to step into the mindset, habits, and character of the very person we admire the most. This is not about copying someone else's life. It's about becoming the best version of you by aligning your actions with your highest values and your inner vision. In this article inspired by the teachings of Tony Robbins, we will explore how to close the gap between who you are and who you want to be. You will learn how to break limiting patterns and replace them with powerful new behaviors, how to reprogram your identity, and how to finally become the person you admire. Most people live their lives disconnected from their potential. They're stuck in patterns of thought and behavior that were formed years ago based on fear, doubt, or trauma. These patterns show up in how they handle money, how they approach relationships, how they take care of their health, or how they avoid risk. Over time, those patterns become identity. I am not good with money. I am not confident. I am not disciplined. And once a belief becomes identity, it becomes a reality. But here's the truth. You were not born with those limitations. You learned them. And if you learned them, you can unlearn them. This is one of the core teachings of Tony Robbins. Human beings are not static. We are dynamic. We are capable of radical change. But change does not happen with more information. It happens with transformation. Transformation requires awareness, courage, and repetition. The problem is most people wait for a crisis to make that transformation. They wait for the divorce, the diagnosis, the job loss, the rock bottom moment. That is when they finally say, enough is enough. But what if you could start the process now? What if you could interrupt the patterns before the crisis? What if you could choose to evolve instead of being forced to evolve? Becoming the person you admire is not a mystery. It is a method, a process, a decision followed by daily action. The first step is clarity. You must define exactly who you admire and why. What qualities do they have? What habits do they practice? What mindset do they embody? Write them down. Be specific. Are they courageous? Are they calm under pressure? Are they generous? Are they focused? And ask yourself, where do I already have these traits? And where do I need to grow? The key to change is self-awareness without judgment. You are not comparing to feel less than. You are comparing to get direction. The second step is identity shift. Your identity is the story you tell yourself about who you are. It is shaped by your past, but it creates your future. To change your life, you must upgrade your identity. If you see yourself as lazy, you will behave lazy. If you see yourself as a leader, you will act like one. So start telling a new story. Start saying, I am disciplined. I am growing. I am resilient. And do not wait for external proof. Decide first, act second. Proof will come later. This is the foundation of change. The third step is emotional leverage. Tony Robbins teaches that change is not about willpower. It is about reasons. Big reasons. Emotional reasons. Pain and pleasure. You must associate massive pain to staying the same, and massive pleasure to becoming your highest self. Visualize the cost of not changing, the regret, the lost years, the broken dreams. Then visualize the reward of becoming who you admire, the confidence, the respect, the legacy. Motion drives action. Use it. The fourth step is immersion. Change does not happen in isolation. It happens in an environment of growth. You must surround yourself with people who embody the traits you want. Read books that reflect your future, not your past. Listen to audios. Watch videos. Attend seminars. Flood your mind with the new identity. Repetition creates reinforcement. Okay? Repetition rewires the brain. The fifth step is behavior design. Identity without action is fantasy. You must align your daily behavior with your future self. The person I admire do every day. What time do they wake up? How do they talk? How do they treat their body? How do they plan their goals? Then do that. Not all at once. One habit at a time. Track it. Reinforce it. Celebrate it. Small wins compound into transformation. The sixth step is resilience. No change is perfect. You will fall back. You will forget. You will doubt. That is part of the process. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. Catch yourself when you slip and get back up. Forgive yourself. Learn from it. Use it. Person you admire did not become that way because they never failed. They became that way because they never quit. Failure is data. Feedback, nothing more. The seventh step is contribution. Becoming your highest self is not just about success. It is about meaning. It is about serving others. Sharing your growth. Lifting people up. The person you admire probably has impact. They probably inspire others. So should you. When you focus on helping others grow, you grow even more. Contribution creates identity. It creates momentum. Gives your journey purpose. So to recap, clarity, identity shift. Emotional leverage, immersion, behavior, design, resilience, contribution. These are the 7 steps to becoming the person you admire. Each one builds on the other. Each one matters. Each one is doable. The process is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. Conclusion. You have within you the power to become the person you admire. Not someday, not when life calms down, not when you feel ready, but now. It starts with a decision. A decision to no longer live small. A decision to rise to your potential. A decision to rewrite your story. You are not broken. You are becoming. And every day is a chance to take a step toward your future self. It'd be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. You do not need more time. You need more intention. You do not need to wait for permission. You already have it. This is your life. This is your moment. This is your time to become who you truly are. If this message resonated with you, take the next step. Watch the full video on how to become the person you admire, inspired by Tony Robbins. Subscribe to the channel for weekly content on personal growth, success, and mindset. Leave a comment below, sharing one trait you are ready to build in yourself. And remember, your transformation starts with a single decision. Make it today.